Alright, so today I'm going to be doing Kunai builds, scaling from beginning to all the way end game level currently. So I'm going to be already assuming that you have the Kunai class, so I'll put that about level 5. So the three items that I want to do would be the slime boots, which is the upgrade from the traveler's boots. The reason for this is because even though they have slightly less walk speed, the jump is pretty useful, and the difference isn't that big. Next would be the champion's emblem, then the thorn tunic. Now, two of those you craft with, and then the other one I'll show you the location for. But first, I recommend getting the burning torch, which is right here from spawn. So I'm going to start from spawn in case you don't know your way around. So first, I'm just going to speed things up though with the potion. So first we're going to get the traveler's boots because that's the first part of the first item. It's really close by. First you just need to go through the cave. I recommend sticking to the left if you don't know your way around. And then eventually you will see an opening right here. Now what you do after that is just immediately take a left. Um, Try to skip over that because if you are whatever level early in the game, you won't be able to beat them. Now the traveling boots are right here. And then with that, to make these slime boots, you would need to kill 5 slimes to get the gel. And then I will show you back at spawn what, or at least how to craft, where to craft, yada yada. So the crafting place is right here, E to interact. Now what you have to do is you have to open up your bag. So first you go to passives because that's where the boots are. You click traveler's boots, then go to materials, and then you put in slime gel. It automatically knows if you have more than 5 or not, and then you click craft. You see it's highlighted. I'm not going to do that because I already have it, but you craft it. And then next is the thorn tunic. I'll go over the champion's emblem after this, just to get rid of the crafting items. So next is that, which you can get all the items essentially from the fox right here. Yeah, so you need a few items from the fox, and then you need 2 gel from the slime. So I will be going to the crafting recipe again to show you what that looks like. Do do. Alright, so eat interact. So the first thing you need is 2 gel, 4 spiky quills, and then 8 spiky fur, if I can find it. Yeah, and then as you can see, you can craft the thorned tunic. Alright, so the last one is the champion's emblem, which is located. I will use the speed potions to show you faster. So go the same way you did with the boots. So you just basically hug the wall to the left. And then after that, you'll get out of the cave. It's easier to see with the torch, so I recommend equipping that. But this time you actually go right from the entrance. I like to get the apples too. And then from right, you climb up the ladder. Now, there are a lot of good items over there, but you don't really need to worry about that with these items. And then right over here, you will see a chest. This is the champion's emblem. Alright, so now that you have the items, for stats, because it's so early in the game, I think you should just choose whatever you think is best. Though I will say, if you are going kunai, mana is not important right now because ignite just won't do that much damage. Go for health and damage, more so on damage because you will get a lot of airtime, so you won't get hit as often. So the items. So first is the slime boots. Now the slime boots, they give you 5 walk speed, but 10 jump height. Now jump height again is very useful for kunai. And then for the thorn tunic, as you can see, it reflects damage, gives you 50 HP, and then 20 defense. And you can get really early in the game. And then lastly is the champion's emblem. If I can hover over it, as you can see, 60 HP, 10 plus minimum damage, and then 20 plus maximum. Now with kunai, before you evolve, you will be scaling with about 80-90% of your minimum damage. So anything that boosts minimum damage is good, and this is the best one so early in the game. Alright, so now let's just say you are level 30. which means you have 150 stat points. Now, I wouldn't put in mana just yet because it really can kind of just take away from the damage you really need right now and the health you really need right now. Um, because distributing it too much can just lead to you have to level up much more. Now, assuming you already know where the cave is because you're level 20 or 30, you get bat wings for the boots, which is the only big difference, and then fox pelts. So you go over the crafting, you craft it with the slime boots, fox, and then the wings. By now, I kind of assume that you already have the scroll and stuff. Golden apple stay, and then I like to use potions at least this early because again you don't have really the mana to get the healing scroll. And then the next one we're going to be looking at is level 50. Alright, so now is about level 50. You can get the evolution for Kunai, so your stats will total about 250. In my opinion, I'd put about 125 in damage just so you break through 200, which means you do like 150 above that with the kunai. But now that you have the evolution, you're getting closer to doing the maximum part, which is a lot better. Health, I think 75 right now is good because you'll probably be farming. You can't really farm ice slimes too well, and then so you're still kind of farming whatever's underneath that. Mana, now that you have 50, you put that in there, you can get 350, which means I think it's a good idea to get the healing scroll and ignite more. So I'm about to show you where the healing scroll is. First you go through the forest. I recommend just going kind of in a straight line, and then you'll see a ledge here, and then turn right, and then just keep hugging the wall right, and then soon you'll reach the end. Again, just keep going straight, and then you'll see a shop here. Now, this is where you can buy a few items, water bolt. This is the one you want, healing scroll right here, 2,000 gold. And then I'll just show you the other ones just because this is more mage stuff. And then, yeah, also priest is over here if you really care about it. But after that, I recommend 75. Alright, so now we're on to level 75. So the first thing I want to change is broken order armor because even that's good. So first you need to go to the castle area. If you don't know where that is at level 70, I don't know what to say. Now you need to go into the basement. Assuming at level 75, even if you get carried, beating at least enough hardcore wolves to get one key. Now you're going to need to use the key right here. You go down. Then now that you're down, I recommend having a torch. You go here. Basically, there's only one real path to follow. Like, this leads to a dead end. So you just kind of follow this till the end. And then you might have to get into at least one combat. Right here. Maybe unless you try and jump around. But, yep, there we go. And then kind of hug the wall here. Again, you can kind of avoid almost all of them if you try this. And then right over here you'll get the broken order armor. Now on to level 75. You should have about 375 points. I like to put 210 of that into damage, 115 of that into health, and then 50 into mana. And then the only thing I really change for passives would be the tunic for the broken order armor, just because it's much better, and then keep the same for the rest of the stuff as well. Alright, so now next would be level 100. I'm going to assume that you cannot get the Slime Prince crown right now just because it's an annoying drop. So I'd keep the same thing except for the broken order armor is now order armor, because you can get that just by doing it in a group with the Slime Prince raid, but with no rare drops really. So the order armor is a little bit better. All of that. I can't really say anything, it's just good. Again, keep the other stuff, and then keep that as well. But the stats are actually a bit different. So for 100, you should have about 500 points. I like to put 300 into damage, 170 into health, because you kind of really need to survive in slime princes uh, because they do a lot of damage. And then 30 in mana because order armor actually gives you some mana. Now, there isn't really much of a change currently between level 100 and 175, so I'm just going to go straight to there now. Alright, so the game got an update which nerfed a few things, so I wanted to make a new kunai build. The first thing I'll go over are stats. I put 30 in mana because the ignite spell that goes off of physical damage, when using it, as you can see, it uses 70. And with 350, it immediately gets it back because you get 70 in return. So you can just kind of spam that all you want. Next I did was health. Before, originally it was at 6,000 with shield and health included because of the armor, but now it's at 4,000 here, which roughly gives us about 5,000 health. I think that's pretty decent. And then the rest I just kind of put in damage, which is still good damage. Alright, so the next part I'm doing are passives. Now, the passives I used to use were Slime Boots, and then the Order Armor, then the Slime Prince Crown. But now I like to use the Winged because they nerfed the speed on the boots. And then same here with the Winged. So now the Winged give pretty good speed. It isn't too overpowering. Um, Next, I like to use the Order Armor. The reason for this is because there isn't that much of a difference, even still, from the Flame Rune armor to the Order, except the Flame Rune just gives you burning damage, which is an issue with Kunai because you just get so many at a time. You basically are always on fire. Um, and then next is the Slime Prince Crown, which, it's pretty good, gives you crit, all of that. It's a good item. Plus the jump. I consider jump pretty useful for kunai, just because you got to get to so many orbs, as well as speed and control, because, you got to, again, get to the orbs. Alright, so the last part are actives. Now, the actives I like to use are the Ignite spell, because it goes off of, or at least for the most part, it goes off of damage, not magic, uh, which is pretty useful for, a melee class. Next, I use Golden Apples, because that's just the best healing item in the game. And then lastly, I use the Healing Scroll, because you can kind of just spam it. So that's my build. Nothing too special, just wanted to fix it because the game got nerfed, and that's all. See ya.